Welcome back to Well House Midweek Minis. This is your ghost of a host with the most, Shanna.
It's PukwuPJ.
And what was that, PukwuPJ?
That was possibly our mini-sode theme?
It was a mini-sode theme.
Will it be ours? That's up to you, for you guys to decide.
Yes. You have to use your voice, though. That's why I was doing my voice.
Oh. That is up for you to decide.
I love it. All right, tonight is episode 7 in our midweek
It is episode 7 of our midweek minisodes.
And if you like the new music, please let us know. If you don't, we'll go back to the old one and we'll make PukwuPJ cry. No, actually, I like it a lot.
I'd be okay with that.
It's very scary.
I'll survive.
It's very spoopy.
Yeah.
I like it.
I just like messing around with music and
I know you
making
do.
songs.
One day you're going to be like the new music creator of some amazing movie franchise.
That's right.
That's right. It'll be a movie of our haunted house.
Except, there'll have to be like jump scares and, at some point people are going to start flying through the air.
Better.
All that stuff. Someone's face is going to get deformed.
I hope so.
That's how all these movies always end up.
Yeah. And they better find someone hot to play us like they do for Ed and Lorraine.
Patrick Wilson will show up.
I would like that. I'm cool with it. But, I think we are the new Warrens, but, not fake. So, before we begin, I have a joke for you, PukwuPJ.
Oh, another one?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready.
Well, I made this because it's prom season, right?
Uh-huh.
Across Pennsylvania, we're having proms all over.
All over the place.
So this joke is
just promming all over.
It's like a promenade.
Huh.
So this joke is specifically for this wonderful time period.
Yeah, eat some pomegranate.
You could.
I can't. Oh, man, I messed up the
put
joke.
Some pomade in your hair. Why didn't the ghost go to prom?
Why?
He had no body to go with.
There
you go. All right. My references for this evening are allthat'sinteresting.com, Greenbrier WV, which stands for West Virginia.com, and Wikipedia. And my episode title is going to be SHUE Did It? SHUE. It'll make sense. Okay, the story.
Okay.
Sometimes we have to make our own voices known, even in the afterlife. I know that I will come back saying, actually, that is not what happened. Or I'll say, I did my research and, I know that's going to be me annoying you in the afterlife, okay? However, there are times when ghosts have unfinished business and they need to let the living know. That is the case for the Greenbrier Ghost, as she is called. In 1897, in West Virginia's Greenbrier County, a ghost allegedly told her mother exactly what happened to her during her murder in great detail. This would result in the ghost of Greenbrier County being a, quote, witness for the ensuing trial that would come.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, ghost tells it all. So the people in the story. First, there is Elva Zana Heister. Again, these are going to be some horrible names, just so you know. But she went by Zana. Okay?
Okay. That's a lot better.
Yeah, than Elva Zana Heister. Yeah, just Zana.
All I can think is latrine. That's an interesting name.
We're not going to finish that quote on my show. But if you got the quote, you're cool.
Next week on Games Overboard, we'll finish the quote.
There you go. Be a crossover. The next name is Erasmus Stribling Trout SHUE.
Erasmus?
Yeah, he went by Trout, but I'm going to stick with Erasmus.
We had a brother Erasmus in our D&D
yes,
campaign.
We did. And then there was Zana's mother, a normal name, Mary Jane Heister.
Well, what was her problem?
I don't know.
She wasn't loved.
Look
at your brother. He has this amazing name. What do you have? Mary.
I'm going to name my kid Elva. Anyway, so Zana is her daughter. So Mary Jane, her daughter is Zana. Zana met Erasmus, and she fell quickly in love. However, not everyone approved of the relationship. Zana's mother, Mary, was against the match between her only daughter and Erasmus Stribling Trout SHUE. I just want to say it one more time.
His name is weird.
From the start.
He shouldn't be marrying my daughter.
What are you going to be, Mrs. Stribling Trout SHUE? Really? What a look. Anyway. Now, at the time, Mary may not have known that Erasmus already had a criminal record, and he had served 2 years at the state penitentiary for stealing a horse. She also may not have known that he had been unhappily married twice before. The first wife divorced him after he abandoned her and their child. The second had died because he claimed to have accidentally dropped a brick on her head while he was making repairs to the roof
What?
at their home in Pocahontas County.
Oh my.
I know. Whoops.
How do you, like, that just like roll off the roof? Because they don't roll.
He was making repairs to the roof, and I'm like, why do you have a brick on the... I don't... Accidentally use it. Yeah, well.
I didn't have a hammer. I needed to get the shingle down.
So I used the brick. What is known for sure is that when Mary met him, who was calling himself Edward, not Erasmus at the time, she didn't like him. Okay? So I like to call that a mother's intuition. While Mary didn't have all the facts, she had her gut instinct, and she was right. Not only was he a convict, but he was also running under a fake name.
He always has a brick strapped to his belt.
For some reason, yeah.
I just don't understand.
With the brick, too. It was obvious Erasmus was not a good guy. But Zana decided to ignore her mother's comments and went ahead with the relationship. The pair married weeks later, despite Mary Jane's objections, and they settled into a house near SHUE's own blacksmith
It's
shop.
like a Disney movie.
I
You know, you meet, you get married.
That's right. Well, gotta go against what my mama says. I think that's kind of one of those things, too, because
Yeah.
she's young.
Yeah.
Now, to put in context, Mary was right to have objections. Zana had only met Erasmus in October of 1896. She married him very quickly afterward. This already shows some craziness. But on January 23rd, 1897, so 3 months later, she was found dead in her house. She was found by a neighbor boy who did chores for Erasmus. He had asked the boy to go check in on Zana randomly, and the boy was like, all right.
Don't know why.
Yeah, and he found her crumpled at the foot of the stairs. Already suspicious.
Brick in her face.
No brick this time. Probably because it was in his pocket. No.
Yeah, it was still strapped to his belt.
But the neighbor boy did say it was very awkward for him that, he's never been asked to go check on Zana before. And all of a sudden he says, go check on my wife. And oh, look, she's dead.
Yeah.
Right. So already suspicious. Now at this point, the doctor was called, but he really couldn't help a dead person. You can't get more dead, right?
Tell me if her condition changes.
No, could improve. Erasmus is said to have acted very suspiciously the entire time, and especially around Zana's body. According to sources, Erasmus cried the entire time Dr. Knapp was with the body of Zana. But as soon as Knapp tried to examine Zana's neck area, Erasmus got so upset that Knapp didn't push it any further. Instead, he ascribed her death to complications of pregnancy.
I just picture him like a 4-year-old crying between his fingers.
Yeah, and looking.
he stops.
Erasmus.
As soon as he goes towards the neck, no.
Don't go over there, it's haunted. I mean,
You want some eggs? I'll make some eggs.
Erasmus had claimed Zana was pregnant and had been fainting quite a lot in her early pregnancy. So she must have fainted at the top of the stairs and then fallen to her death.
Lord knows she was a fainter. She'd just be walking and just drop over.
So, Dr. Knapp,
No, Dr. Knapp.
that's his name,
She took naps.
was not a very good doctor because that was like it. He's like,
He's
oh,
sleeping
all
on
right.
the job, yeah.
Complications of early pregnancy. She should have been careful. So during this time, too, again, 3 months into their marriage, there were rumors that began to circulate with the local folks saying that Zana had given birth to an illegitimate child and that Erasmus had been married twice before.
Mm.
So she did not give birth to an illegitimate child, but Trout had been married, so half it's right. His first marriage produced a child, Gerta, and ended in divorce in 1889. His second wife, Lucy, died under mysterious circumstances as well. Some said she was pregnant and fell through ice, while others claimed that it was a brick to the head or poison that did the unfortunate woman in.
Wait, a second brick to the head, or is this the same
No, this
woman?
is like all the rumors that
okay.
are spreading.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, the brick
I
was...
thought he was a serial bricker for a second.
I
there.
like to showcase how rumors spread because either she fell through ice while pregnant, or it was a brick, or it was poison.
Yeah.
One of those is right. This all began to make its way to Mary, who was already incredibly suspicious of Erasmus, and very angry, of course, now that her only daughter is dead.
Yeah.
So it's kind of adding all of it together. Regardless, the cause of death was listed as childbirth or pregnancy complications. Zana was buried on January 24th, so the next day, in the local cemetery, and now it's known as the Soul Chapel Methodist Cemetery. So Mary, a caring mother, could not stop thinking about this senseless death. It is a good question, too. How could a healthy, young, and seemingly happy lady die from, quote, an everlasting faint as a complication of pregnancy?
Everlasting faint.
That's what it was described
She
as.
just drifted off one day.
Dr. Nap. Because she was like a dog with a bone, I am going to assume that is why Zana was able to communicate with her mother. Her mother had that, open door that we sometimes talk about for her daughter to talk to her. So not long after her death, Zana began appearing to Mary. In the story, Zana is said to have crept right up to her mother's bedside and then begged her mother to climb into her bed. Mary reported all this. Zana was very cold, Mary stated. But Zana had bigger things. She had to talk to her mother about her death.
Yeah, no, sorry. If our kid came up to us and was ice cold and dead, like dead for days or whatever, and they're like, "Can I get in bed with you?" Like, no.
You can sleep on the floor.
Yeah, you can leave and come back in the daytime, please.
The dog bed is very comfortable.
You don't need to touch
And
me either.
Rosie doesn't use the dog bed, so go ahead. She sleeps on the floor.
Stop staring at me like that. Blink.
Zana told her mother that it was not a faint or pregnancy that had killed her. It was her husband. Zana's ghostly visits at bedtime continued. So it wasn't a one-time done kind of thing. In all, she visited her mother for 4 days straight. In that time, she told Mary all about her terrible marriage. Zana revealed that Erasmus had been very abusive to her.
He would just clip his toenails and leave them.
Oh, it's the worst.
Oh my gosh. He wouldn't roll up the bag in the cereal box?
I don't think they had cereal boxes in this time period.
What? What kind of life were they living?
A good one, because cereal's disgusting.
What?
You know this. We've been together for almost
You eat
20
cereal all the time.
Not all the time. You know I
Not
don't.
all the time.
Once
It
in a while.
requires milk.
Well, once in the... Yeah, exactly, and I hate milk. When I do it, I go, oh, this is awful. Oh, this is awful.
That's not true.
And then I pour the milk out, and then I put... Anyway. So in that time of the 4 days, she told Mary all about her terrible marriage. She said that Erasmus had been abusive to her, and he'd finally murdered her by breaking her neck. And fun.
By bricking her neck?
No, breaking. But
Oh.
good. Maybe.
I was hoping.
No. And fun fact, the ghost of Zana actually illustrated her own death to her mother by turning her head fully around.
Well, I mean, the girl in The Exorcist did that too.
Well, Zana did it before it was cool. After this, Mary decided to take matters into her own hands. She would avenge her daughter's death. So armed with the story, allegedly told to her by a ghost,
Mary upgrades to Bloody Mary.
Mary visited the local prosecutor, John Alfred Preston, and spent several hours in his office convincing him to reopen the matter of her daughter's death. Whether he believed her story of the ghost is unknown, but he did have enough doubt to dispatch deputies to re-interview several people of interest in the case, including Dr. Knapp. He was likely responding to public sentiment, as numerous locals had begun suggesting that Zana had been murdered. I don't know if a mother's story about a ghostly visitation schedule would actually interest a prosecutor to do an autopsy. If you're a prosecutor out there and you listen, if I came to you and said my ghostly family member told me they were murdered, would you reopen the case?
It's like the Lovely Bones, right?
Yeah, I love that movie.
I've
though.
never seen it.
It's heavy though.
Well, I just listened to Baraska, which is, I can guarantee.
Do you know who the narrator of The Lovely Bones is?
Yeah, it's the girl from City of Ember.
Yeah, but do you know who she is in the story?
No. Well, I know she's a victim of a horrible, violent crime.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then
But Baraska is way more traumatizing, I can guarantee.
Oh,
But anyways.
Anyway, so back to this trauma. However, the townspeople's stories were quite interest-piquing for Preston. They told him that Erasmus had very odd behavior at the wake of Zana. He would not let anyone close to her coffin, and for some weird reason, he had placed a pillow on the side of her head, not under it. After this, Preston...
She's a side sleeper. In case she rolls over while she's in her forever nap.
Yes, on her neck.
Her forever faint.
Everlasting faint, actually.
Everlasting. Excuse me!
After this, Preston decided to talk to the person who conducted the autopsy, Dr. Knapp.
What?
Knapp informed Preston that he had not made a complete examination of the body
Oh my god.
because of Erasmus. All of this was viewed as sufficient justification for a new autopsy. An exhumation was ordered, and an inquest jury was formed. So Zana's body was examined on February 22nd, so a little less than a month later, and it was done in the local one-room schoolhouse.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, kids, open up to page 104. Ignore the smell. They say it'll be gone in a week or two.
The autopsy lasted 3 hours, and it found that Zana's neck had in fact been broken. According to the report published on March 9th, 1897, quote, "The discovery was made that the neck was broken and the windpipe mashed. On the throat were the marks of fingers indicating that she had been choked. The neck was dislocated between the first and second vertebrae. The ligaments were torn and ruptured. The windpipe had been crushed at a point in front of the neck. In general, there were finger marks on her dislocated neck and a crushed windpipe, suggesting foul play. Erasmus was arrested and charged with the murder of his wife."
I wonder what gave it away.
Any of that? Dr. Knapp is looking real shady now.
Man, definitely sounds like she fainted.
Everlasting.
Everlasting.
So now on to the
Faint
trial.
everlasting.
Good movie. Oh, wait. So now on to the trial of Erasmus SHUE. Erasmus was held in the jail in Lewisburg, West Virginia, not Pennsylvania, while waiting for the trial to begin. During this time, more information about his past came to light. The rumors Mary and Preston had heard were, in fact, true. He had been married twice before. His first marriage had ended in divorce, with his wife accusing him of, quote, "great cruelty." And, of course, in this time period, it was very difficult to get a divorce.
Yeah.
So, just saying. His second wife had died under mysterious circumstances less than a year after they were married. Zana was his third wife, and of course she died within 3 months of being married to him. And to add to this, a concerning point began to circulate about Erasmus. Erasmus began to talk of wishing to wed 7 women. He freely spoke of this ambition while in jail and told reporters that he was sure he would be let free because there was so little evidence against him. So was his murder of his wives on purpose just to hit that number 7. And why 7?
Yeah.
The trial.
Well, yeah, unless he was like a holy man, which would be extremely hypocritical. But 7 is like, a holy number.
I guess, but to kill to get to that number?
Yeah.
The trial officially began on June 22nd, 1897. No surprise, Mary Jane Heaster was prosecutor Preston's star witness. He confined his questioning to the known facts of the case, skirting the issue of her ghostly sightings. It's most likely because he wanted her to seem credible.
Yeah.
Perhaps hoping to prove...
And it was a gut instinct that led you to,
Oh?
to bring the body back up, right?
However, it comes to light because, perhaps hoping to prove her unreliable, Erasmus's lawyer questioned Mary extensively about her daughter's ghostly visits on cross-examination. The tactic backfired when Mrs. Heaster would not waver in her account despite intense badgering. As the defense had introduced the issue, the judge found it difficult to instruct the jury to disregard the story of the ghost, and furthermore, many people in the community seemed to believe the story. So, this did not work in Erasmus's lawyer's favor. Mary Heaster is actually quoted from the trial in the Greenbrier Independent. She testified, quote, "It was no dream. She came back and told me that he was mad that she didn't have no meat cooked for supper."
Oh, hold on. It weren't no dream.
I know.
Yeah.
Fine.
Oh, wait, you're doing it?
It was no dream. She came back and told me that he was mad that she didn't have no meat cooked for supper. But the second night she told me that her neck was squeezed off at the first joint, and it was just as she told me.
My stars.
Can you believe the gall of this man? In all, the trial lasted 8 days. On the 6th day, Erasmus took the stand in his own defense, but it did not end well. He rambled on and on, almost insanely, and he said everyone was out to get him. A winning defense. They're all just out to get me. That's why I'm up here. I do it. It is no surprise that Erasmus was found guilty of murder on July 11th and sentenced to life in prison. It took the jury only 1 hour to return with a guilty verdict of murder in the first degree.
So is this guy guilty? Mm-hmm. All right.
Better hang out here and eat some food while we wait.
The other 55 minutes was them like, what sentence do we give him?
No, it's more like,
do we hang him? Do we shoot him?
Shall we all have a beer? Good job, everybody. Good work.
What do we do now? We can't just go back out there.
We gotta kill some. Anybody got some checkers?
You got some cards?
Yeah, let's play some poker. Let's do it.
Yo, I'll bet this guy's life I can beat you in a hand.
They gave him a guilty verdict of murder in the first degree, and they recommended Erasmus be confined to the state penitentiary for the rest of his life. So this is a quote. Though the evidence was entirely circumstantial, the verdict meets general approval, the newspaper reported. And fun side note, a lynch mob was formed to take him from the jail and hang him, but the mob was disbanded by the deputy sheriff before any damage was done.
Ain't nobody noosing no one in my town.
4 of the mob's organizers later faced charges for their actions. Oh, gee dang it.
Why'd I waste all this time building the dang thing? If you're just gonna arrest me. I was just helping you out.
Well, SHUE died in the 3rd year of his sentence from the flu epidemic of 1900. No one from his family came to claim his body.
Ooh.
Yeah. So he was buried there.
I didn't like him anyways.
I didn't like him none. He was buried there at the penitentiary in an unmarked grave.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. But you can now find a state highway marker for this extraordinary trial, and it states, quote, only known case in which testimony from ghost helped convict a murderer. And there you have it. So, who did it? SHUE did it.
Somewhere over here lies Erasmus, by the way.
Nobody cares. Yeah, you know. So what do you think?
That's pretty cool.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tried seeing if there's any other cases, and from what I found, it really is true. It's the only case that had a ghost help prove her defense. All right. So in front of me, I have our giveaway stuff. But I want to quickly mention one more time that you need to hop on Facebook to see the picture, or you have to message us either on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, through our email, which is gamesoboard@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can also comment and contact us if you want to comment from our website. So in the basket, you will be getting the Adopt a Ghost as it crinkles right there. It's Lobby. You can have your own ghost. Everybody wanted Lobby last time.
Oh, everyone wanted Lobby.
There's also a sign that says, abandon all hope, ye who enter here. And it is shaped as a casket.
Nice.
And it has a spooky, ghostly house in the back, like a mansion, and ghosts, and, some kind of demon up on top. So nice and spooky. To go with Lobby, I also have this really...
I think it's a bat. Looks like a bat.
Nah, it's a demon now. I also
demon bat.
found this fun necklace online, and the ghost looks like he's clear, but he actually glows in the dark. So if you put him in
that's cool.
So if you put him in the sun for a little bit, he'll glow green, which is fun. I want to buy one for myself when we go to Penhurst.
Oh yeah.
Then we also have a pin that says Mothman for President.
I want that.
Okay, I know you do, but you can't have it. Told you. I also have a pin.
Whoever wins that, you're gonna have to fight me for it.
I will buy you one. Anyway, I also have a pin that's Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It's a picture of the book.
Cover of the book.
But it's actually engraved. Like, isn't that nice? That's a fancy one.
Ooh. Yeah. That's like really the artwork too. They colored it and everything.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And then from Danger and Dice, I have the Dungeons and Dragons Tarot deck.
Nice.
Yep. And I have a bag here of all the different dice, and it's kind of a fun ghosty color to match the
like
ghost
a translucent
theme.
white.
Yes, very spoopy. And then from Games Overboard, I have the card game Awkward Turtle, which is a face. And then you wanted to put one more game in. What game are you putting in?
Yes. So I want to do Wormspan from Stonemaier Games.
That's nice because it matches the Danger and Dice kind of thing too with dragons.
Yeah.
Dragons.
It's Stonemaier's newest game. It's very easy to learn, and it's just so much fun.
And it's based off of Wingspan, which was the #1 game.
That game was gigantic. Yeah.
So as you hear me playing with the crinkly stuff, and then of course in there you'll get our magnets for your car, one for Games Overboard and one for Wellhouse Exorcism. So it's going to be quite the basket. You have to be a part of the contiguous United States to win.
Yeah.
Just saying. Sorry.
Unless you want to ship us some cash for shipping.
Yeah, we just love cash in general. No, but so that
our Australian listener who got Wingspan.
Last time we're shipping across
we could have bought 3
water.
Wingspans for that. That was just for the shipping.
Yeah, but you deserve it.
Oh yeah. We really appreciate all of you. Seriously.
Yep. So we'll be posting that picture at some point this week. I said it's a busy week. I am exhausted, and I'm still busy again
Yeah.
tomorrow, as is PJ.
It's the end of the year. Any
Yeah.
teachers out there, you understand the end of the year is always the
Oh
craziest.
my gosh. State competition on Monday. Didn't get home till 10 o'clock. Another competition this Friday. So in just 2 days, not going to be home probably till 11.
Yeah.
So yeah, but state competition for my science fair, my gifted kids got 2 firsts, 1 second, and 1 third. So all 4 kids placed. So it was good. I'm just going to catch up on sleep next week. So
Yeah.
anyway, let us know too if you like the new music that PJ's created for our mini episodes.
Yeah,
I
please
love
let
it.
us know. Yeah.
We're going to play it again at the end of the episode. But I just want to say thank you for listening to the Well House Exorcism. Find us on Instagram at Well House Exorcism, on Twitter X with wellhouse_exorc, on Facebook under Games Overboard, because we're a subsidiary. Feel free to hop on our website as well, gamesoverboard.com. Please email us. We want to hear from you. And as always,
think spooky thoughts.